Email Steven Soderbergh's Oscars telecast took some big swings, but had one huge whiff. When Steven Soderbergh began giving interviews about what he and fellow Oscars producers Stacey Sher and Jesse Collins had planned for this year's telecast, he said they wanted the show to feel like a movie. And largely, they succeeded. The ceremony kicked off with a full-on opening credits sequence that followed prior winner Regina King as she strutted into the intimate yet socially distanced setup inside Union Station. The presenters and winners looked at the audience instead of the camera, and even the telecast itself was presented in a cinematic framing that made the whole thing look like a movie. But the thing about movies is, if your ending stinks, that's what people leave the theater talking about. And as Best Picture was handed out before both the Best Actress and Best Actor awards, it was clear the Oscars producers were building towards what they hoped would be an ending as memorable as any great movie. It completely backfired. For the most part, I thought the changes made for this year's ceremony worked. Going into this year's Oscars, the narrative was that absolutely no one cared this year. The Best Picture nominees were little seen by the general public, and the adjusted calendar led to even movie fans forgetting the Oscars were still happening. The producers leaned into that and created a ceremony only for Oscars diehards, the complete opposite of pandering to the viewers at home with bits like handing out pizza inside the Dolby Theatre. Even down to the choice to have the presenters and winners look at the people inside the room instead of directly into the camera, the ceremony put the focus squarely on the artisans that were being honored. This was pushed to such an extreme that even the clips that traditionally accompany each nominee were scrapped, save for a couple of categories. Completely and fully, the focus of this year's Oscars was on the nominees and the winners, and the decision to move the Oscar-nominated Best Original Song pre-show it turns out was so that there would be even more time for speeches. Image via ABC. Indeed, the speeches were really the star of this year's Oscars, and Soderbergh sent a note to all the nominees before the ceremony imploring them to write a speech and create a moment. Some of the most memorable moments from Oscars telecasts in years past have been the speeches, something funny, something emotional, something surprising. Clearly the goal was to recreate that here in this intimate ceremony. Sometimes it paid off, like with Thomas Vinterberg's emotional acceptance speech for Best International Film that honored his late daughter, or Daniel Kaluuya's maybe too honest acceptance speech for Best Supporting Actor. And as Best Picture was announced as the third-to-last category, it was clear the Oscars producers were trying to manifest an ending that would leave both the audience and the viewers at home in tears.